our world, the other world, pretty similar, except we're sentient. And so my question, it's back on this Ted Lund subject. Is it ever okay, so when I'm feeling so full of gratitude that I am a sentient being and that I have all that I have, I will invite any non-sentient energies that are benevolent and mean no harm to come and, experience through me.
Right.
What do you think of that? Is that
Well,
okay to invite? Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
if it works for you, it works for you. Hey, I let people's guides come in and use my throat all the time to talk to other people. I'm fine. I think we're talking, the difference is to your development. If you're giving your power away to a disembodied being that is affecting your life, that's one thing about giving your power. I found what I've always found has worked for me over the years, because I luckily didn't have any of that kind of control issues going on, was I would mentally ask a question and I would get the answer. So we would have a dialogue, and that happened a lot longer before. Philosophical things were presented to me long before I realized what was going on. It was so that they would become a part of who I am. So I think that's one of the reasons why the philosophical side of me is so strong, is basically. But if it's anything enhancing your life, if it's working and getting you where you want to be and create, then there's nothing that you can say. I mean, we want to feel those feelings and being. But if I didn't have a strong sense of myself, I wouldn't be able to do the clearing work that I do when I'm clearing all these systems and levels and all sorts of things for people of the energies that are blocked there. I wouldn't be able to do that work effectively because I would take that on, and I don't. I don't take that on. So that's what's important. Is it adding to you? Is it giving you something that you can work with?
And I think that's one of the biggest drawbacks about getting into energy healing for people when they get in kind of as a layperson, is that they're not aware of how they can be taking on other people's energy.
Well, what you're going to get there when you're talking about taking on a person's energy is that you're going to now kind of hit one of my other little buttons, is because then you start being taught how to protect and defend your energy fields. So what you're doing then is you're encasing yourself in whatever you want to call that. What happens with that, though, is that the main point is still being lost, is that if you're very strong on your internal core, then you're coming from that point, so you're inside out rather than outside in. You do not have to worry about that. And the other thing I want to touch on with this is your chakras. If your chakras are not working effectively, and I don't need to stand on anybody's toes, but I find that the majority of people teaching chakras today don't have a clue of what is there. And it's an unfortunate thing. So the majority of people who are having trouble energetically is that their chakras are not working effectively. And I'm finding that that's more and more prevalent to the point I'm beginning to wonder what I can do about it, actually.
They're blocked.
They're blocked. Because most people, let me just see, this will be a good point. How many people here work with the chakras, first of all? Hands up high so I can see them. A lot done, okay. How many people, when you're working with your chakras, work with your front end, from the front? How many of you work with the back? A lot of people don't. A lot of people don't. They have no idea that it's actually, you're part of a grid that actually is 360 around you. I work with an expanded base expanded chakra system of 16. Because we changed years ago. New chakras started emerging. And I found them, and then one day I was looking at a Reiki book. I'm not a Reiki person, but I was looking at a Reiki book, and it talked about the secondary chakra system. And what had happened, the secondary chakra system is actually merged with the first. So we have a very effective chakra system, and the energy comes in and out and up and down simultaneously, right all the way through. So it's, and I find more and more often, because when I'm doing clearing work, I get these people who are studying and energy people, masters, etc. And I'll go and say, well, and usually I can tell, and then we'll be doing one piece of work. This happened recently. And lady back in the east, actually, and I went, you know, the chakra's blocked at the back, because the first session I did with her, the chakras didn't come up at all. The second session I did, and I went, you're blocked in the back. Oh, I didn't know there was anything in the back. And well, it's all around, but we tend to go from the front to the back through the body, because that's what feeds your cells. That's where your cells get the nutrient of that energy. And all those energies that come in, they all have a particular energy. They come in and they move through the body so that you have it all flowing. You want all that flowing. So if you have an issue very often, if you look at the chakra that's closest to the issue, you'll often find that chakra is not working effectively. It's not, I call it plugged in. It's why my intensive is called plugged into your power. You plug it in. So it's incredibly important. And what I'm finding is that, actually what I said to this lady back in Nova Scotia, I don't know, I think I'm going to have to come back out there and teach you guys about this. Hopefully putting an idea in your head, because I haven't been to Nova Scotia yet. So it's like knowing that. Yes, the question.
Well, I just wanted to know, like, what do you mean when you say work with your chakras? Like,
Okay,
I've heard of, like, turning them off like this, or not turning them off and closing them, or... I don't know, can you...
Oh, do I even want to go there with that one?
Correspond to the glands.
Yeah, they do. Well, yeah, but there's more. The thing is, it's such a large component of energy field. And if that field is working in an effective way, you will not have any trouble with anything, because whatever comes in will just be immediately cleared. What I find is the majority of people have trouble emotionally and or anything else because the chakra system is not working effectively. The energy isn't flowing. Chakra system is where your soul is attached to your body, is the simplest way of looking at it. And it's all the way through. We have many of them. We have them in the wrist. I mean, we can go into it. But the main ones, which are up from below your feet to above your head and up your spine, but it's through your whole body. It's not just this one little point, which I know when I first started working with them years ago, that's how we did it. It was all like in the front, little points, like whatever. And then you get people who say, well, they turn and twist and whatever. I haven't found that. I haven't found that. But it's a belief system out there that that's what they're supposed to do. Because the energy, when you have it plugged in, comes in evenly all the way through. In and out, up and down, every which way, 360, all the time. It's very hard for the brain to comprehend. But when we have that happening, so something comes up, somebody else walks through your aura or whatever, it just gets cleared. Because it's not yours. It has no relativity to you. But if you're blocked anywhere, you're gonna have trouble.
And is it difficult to unlock?
No.
How do you unblock?
If you know what you're doing, you know what you're doing.
Can you teach us?
Yeah, well, maybe when put it out, I was thinking that it might be time to be next year. I'll submit. I will put it in my mind to remember to submit about chakras. I teach it in my intensive. Kristen here has taken my course.
Really
and got
good.
all that.